Hey, what's up, guys? Good night. How are you all doing tonight? Hope everyone is doing wonderful. Yeah. Well, as you know, guys, this is an organic garden channel, and we talk about growing our food natural. We believe in that. We also focus on not trying to spend a bunch of money to grow some food. So we adapt the old days, the old time. Because in the old days, the old time, no one really, people was actually using natural product. When I say natural product, create their own product from basically observing nature. Use back the weeds, use back the leaf, use back all these things and create a garden. But over the years, if you notice, things change. Things been changing. Things been changing over the years, and now it become a time now where we stray away from the natural and start focusing on something else that might do most of the work for us. But is it beneficial? What I mean, how much? Yes, it might make the work easier physically, but spiritually, mentally, health wise, it might be a whole different ball game. So we focusing on eating healthy without spending, without going out there and spend hundreds or thousands of dollars to get our garden going. Don't get me wrong. I understand there's a lot of people who just got to use what they got to do. Use. And at the end of the day, you just got to do what works for you. All right? I only could speak for myself. I if the resources is around me, if the resources is around me, I'm going to make use of it. I'm surely going to make use of it because I've understand and I've seen how you could use natural product from your backyard and turn your garden into a producing machine by actually using the things that grows up in your garden, the weeds that grows up in your garden, the leaf that fall from the trees in the fall. If you have the space to put a container, you can utilize whatever you got to do. Yes, so my focus, guys, you see, just check what's going on today, right? Look at what's going on today. Just observe what's going on today. Now, if you're depending on a product, and we talk about these things many times. If you're depending on a product and there's a transportation that bringing this product to you, and you depending on this product wholeheartedly, because this product is what keep your livelihood. This is what makes you able to strive, you and your family. But you never plan a backup plan. Like for instance, many people is looking out for fertilizer today. And you never know, these things could become scarce. And if they become scarce and you cannot get hold of them, then what you gonna do? How you gonna grow your food? What is the plan? But we can show you how to grow a garden using the weeds. You know what is strange? I don't think, you know, the things that goes on over the years, and we love to say, oh, that was in the past, that was the old time. But you see, when comes on growing food, natural food for yourself, feeding your family, I think it's the best way. What works best. And at the same time, we have to understand now is the time. Now is the time for us to start focus on our health. No, this is not the time to play around. Now is the time for us to start focus on our health is important. And what's crazy, man, is the amount of things out there that can actually help us. But, you know, I was speaking to someone, and what they was telling me, okay, they have a condition going on, and the amount of medicine they have to take, all right? Because if you notice, some of the time, they might give you a prescription for something, but when you check the side effect, so on the side effect, this thing, no, you got to take another medicine to keep down. And when you catch yourself, you realize you're on 5, 6 different medicine. You realize you are on 5, 6 different medicine. I mean, that cannot be, I don't think that's okay at all. Because you take in, okay, say for instance, you have high blood pressure. You have high blood pressure, right? But now you taking pill for the high blood pressure. Then it might create a side effect. Now you got to take another pill for that side effect. So it just keep multiplying. Then you catch yourself and you realize you have so many pills, you have so many bottles on your shelf. What if you can start doing your own little research? You know, in my grandmother time and before, over the years it's been trickling down. People stop striving to be independent. People striving for, okay, my head hurt me, I just go to the doctor. If my stomach hurt, I just go to the doctor. But there's actually things that people use for belly, like if your belly hurt, there's natural remedy. Some people get what the word is again? Constipation. Like for instance, you're trying to use the bathroom and you can't. There's naturally remedy for these things. But then there's things to help you with that situation. But sometimes things get recalled. I don't want to call no product, but there's so much recalls today. There's so much recalls, and then guess what happened? If it's recall, what about how much did that person already intake in their system before they hear it's recall? We got to pay more attention and have more control of our health, because that the hospital bill ain't cheap. It ain't cheap, guys. There's a lot of natural remedies out there that we can focus on. There's a lot of herbs, there's a lot of leaf, there's a lot of bush out there that can actually help us. All right, so this is why we believe in organic gardening, because we believe and we understand. You know, back in the days, little boy growing up, these farmers never used to use the thing we use today. These farmers learn from the best. And who is the best? What is the best? Nature. These farmers learn from nature. And they apply and they learn and they put the little twist to it. Then they realize, over the years, they realize the growing animal, the animal pooping, and they realize how the soil getting enriched from the animal poop. So now they start gathering the animal poop and start putting it around the plant and understand, see the benefit. But in them times, what used to happen is it was natural. The cow was feeding from grass. The sheep was feeding from grass. The chicken was feeding from corn and naturals. You see what I'm saying? So the poop of the animal was basically natural. But in today, it's so different. It's different today. So this is why, guys, we focus on growing our food natural. We focus on making our own composting. We focus on making our own liquid fertilizer, because and guess what? We see the result. How we start doing this? Because we see our grandparents, our parents, what they was doing and still able to get these massive harvests. So if they're able to get the massive harvest from doing it naturally in their time, we still can do it today. The thing is, today, we put so much synthetic in our food today. We ourselves that growing it. When you think about sorry for that, guys. So we try to focus on natural food because we realize the benefit. We realize in them time how people used to be strong from the food they eat. We realize people used to live people used to live long. People used to live healthy. The food you eat used to make you strong. But in today now, every generation try to make it easier. Every generation try to make it easier. But it easier, more healthier? Is easier, more healthier? No, because we ourselves as backyard farmers, as backyard gardeners, we ourselves I think we use too much because too much synthetic in our food. Why am I saying that? Because it's not just what we put around our food. Yeah. Because what take place today, we spray the food, we spray the plant, we spray the weeds, then we still put synthetic around the food. That's too much for these plants. That's why it's so hard for us to see the earthworms. This is why it's so difficult for us to see these pests, these beneficial pests, insects in our soil. It's difficult because we getting rid of them. This is why we hardly see bees today. We're not seeing bees and butterfly like before. We have to, there's a lot of natural remedy out there, guys, that you can even make your own self to put around your food, guys. We have to yes, sorry for that, guys. Yes, there's so many natural remedy out there for growing our food and for our health. Natural remedy to grow our food and for our health. But we become so dependable. We become so, it's like we're giving away our independence. We got to wake up, guys. Look at what the place everywhere. Everywhere. It's not just one place. Everywhere is getting harder. If you notice, just check the weather, guys. Just check the weather. When I checked the weather this year, the weather this year was pretty challenging. How? The weather was challenging. The weather was challenging because I noticed my fruit trees them was blooming with flowers. And while they're blooming with flowers, we have like 5 straight days of serious cold weather, under 30 degrees. And you know what the cold weather do? It dries up so many of these flowers. And I'm sure it's not just me going through this. I'm sure a lot of people is dealing with this, man. So we have to make use of our growing season. We have to make use of the little time we have to grow something. We have to make use of when the weather is right and the weather is beautiful and the season is great. We got to take advantage of that because we don't know how next season gonna be. We don't know how the next season gonna be. So we have to pay more attention, try to be more self-sufficient in any way you can. Time is changing. So what's going on, guys? Thank you all so much. Appreciate you guys. Thank you all for hitting the like button. What's going on, guys? But all I can say, man, the world is changing, and I don't think it's gonna change to become easier. I don't think that. I think it's gonna be more difficult. And I think the kids of today, the children of today, they're born into it, so it might become a little natural to them. But people like me, it's different because we born into something different, and we have seen so many changes over the years. The job situation, the AI situation is taking over the market. You know, you used to have to hire somebody to write a professional letter for you, say for instance, or whatever. Now you could just draft out something, and in seconds, guys, in seconds, these things, they can present that for you. This is where we are today. You cannot see this. You cannot see this and ignore it. There's no way you could see what's going on and comfortable. There's no way you can see the things that going on today and comfortable. When there's in every field possible, in every work field, the AI is able to take control. Yeah, there's no way. You remember, you remember years ago for the older folks. You remember years ago, if you want to send a letter to someone, you got to write the letter, put it in the mail, and it take days or weeks to reach that person, depending on where you're going. Now check today, guys. In seconds, in seconds, in seconds, an email. That's where the technology has made the world become so small. The world was like a big place. You only could hear about different countries. You only could hear about different countries. Now, the world becomes so small. Why? Because of technology. So it's getting harder, and I don't believe that food price gonna drop. I don't believe that. I believe wherever it raised, that's where it's gonna stay. I believe a lot of things. The price will not drop. I believe the price gonna remain. And if just think about it, if the price remain, then your salary. If the price remain, what about your salary? If your salary ain't raised, then this is obvious. You got to. This is the problem. As now, you might have to look for another job. You see what I'm coming from? And guess what? AI, the machine, is taking a lot of the jobs. So where you gonna find another job? So you see, now this is where you gotta be start to get self-sufficient. You gotta start the independency kick in, the backup plan kick in. When you should remember, sometimes times gone by, you have a good job and the job is taking care of you and your family, paying all the bills, and many people never think about what if one day I lost this job. Remember, your family and your lifestyle depending, your job is what keep everything rolling. But you never set up a backup plan. You lose the job, then what? You could lose everything. We got to be smart today. And if you're growing food, if you're growing food for yourself, you should try to grow them in a way that they can be your medicine. If you're growing food, I'm going to say it again. If you're growing food for yourself in your backyard, you should grow it in a way that it can become medicine for you. Meaning, build your immune system, keep you healthy, keep you strong, keep you from getting sick. That's what should be the focus. Because think about it. Whether you're paying rent, whether you're paying mortgage, you need your health. You need your health that you can walk. At the end of the day, you need your health that you could walk to pay your mortgage, to pay your rent, to pay your bills. If you're growing food, you should try to grow it in a way that it can help heal you, make you strong. So this is why we focus on organic instead of using all this synthetic stuff around our plant. And and I don't know, some people feel if they're using this synthetic thing that they're doing real gardening. Well, you see, when you don't know, you don't know. So to some people, it's gonna look like, God damn, this person know what they're doing. They're spraying the plants and they're doing all these things. And you believe this person is really gardening. Well, guess what? There's people who are not using these things and having very successful garden. There's people who are not using these things, but able to grow a successful garden. That's what our focus is. Staying away from synthetic and focus on the natural. And we're still able to break record in our garden. We're still able. So that tells us something. You need your health. It's important because you have bills to pay. And in this life, it seems like you have to work until you leave this world. If you ain't set up yourself right, if you ain't try to set up a business, if you ain't try to, you will have to work until you leave this earth. So that's how your health is important. More people today sick and still forcing going to work. Not because they want to, because they have to, because they need a roof over their head. This is where it is today, guys. This is why focus on your health. Your health is important. Without your health today, you could lose everything. Without good health today, you can use everything. All right? So thank you all tonight. Thank you all again for coming out tonight, guys. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all for hitting the like button. Truly appreciate all who hit the like button tonight. Thank you guys so much. So you guys have a blessed, wait, what time is it? Hold on. All right, good night, guys. You guys have a blessed and wonderful night. All right, see you guys soon. Peace.